Welcome back to the channel We Are Humanity. This is episode 3. This channel is designed to encourage human unity and to promote social harmony. The chief aim of this channel is to challenge the entrenched us versus them thinking, which has caused a lot of social division within our country. And so in the previous episode, we talked about the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, and we made the assertion that the unconscious mind is where our beliefs are birthed and where they're nurtured. And so we want to look in this episode at a little closer at social beliefs. And this episode will be the first episode of two that will focus exclusively on social beliefs. To kind of frame and restrict the range of content for this channel, I'm gonna put aside religious beliefs and beliefs about nature. So accordingly, a social belief is accepting something as true or false. And for the persons that accept the social belief can assume both real and often very inflexible qualities. And what's interesting about social beliefs, because of their scope, is the social belief that's believed may only have validity in the mind of the holder, whereas the larger society may be exhibiting qualities completely at odds with those who hold a certain social belief. So social beliefs are really fascinating. And so I want to look at good social beliefs, some examples, and so-called bad social beliefs. So to kind of frame where we're going to go, an example of a good social belief is that it's important to get lots of exercise. You know, exercise is good for our health. It helps us to remain active. It helps us to avoid being fixed targets for illnesses and certain types of disease. But on the flip side, if you take exercise to the extreme, it actually can be bad for your health. So when you're talking about beliefs, it's important to have an open mind because there are always alternative possibilities and outcomes. Another example is like it's important to eat fruits and vegetables. They improve one's health. Yes, this is true in general. Fruits and vegetables are good for our digestive system, but also we must recognize that some fruits and vegetables are grown with via the use of herbicides and pesticides and things that could actually be detrimental to our health. And while it's good to eat fruits and vegetables, we have to consider more than that. We should consider protein sources. We should consider sources of other sources of fiber. So while fruits and vegetables, eating those are a good thing, good for our health, uh, they're not. It's not all. It's not all. It's not just that. Working hard is a virtuous quality. We live in a country that's prides itself on individualism, getting ahead, kind of making our own way in the world. But if we work too hard, it can be self-destructive. There are many people that are just simply overworked in pursuit of trying to achieve this good belief. Another example would be getting a college education gives one an advantage in society. We're taught that education is the key, and then that's a good belief. We also must recognize that there are many people in society who have very very wonderful careers, have very vibrant lives, and they don't possess a college degree. So the point is these beliefs have at least two sides. And so if we take an inflexible approach, we try to make beliefs have a one size fit all type of structure, and that's simply not the case. From the other perspective, some bad beliefs that we have in society is that driving excessively fast is not dangerous. That's a, that's a bad belief because we know that accidents are likely to occur when people are driving at higher speeds. So this belief, for those who hold that, um, is bad because speed does kill. Some people have the belief that smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol are not self-destructive habits. And it's true that in moderation, that one could do these things, but studies after studies show that if one does smoke consistently or drink consistently, that it's going to be deleterious, or it can be deleterious for your health. Small lies are harmless. You know, there are some people that believe that you can fib and it doesn't really hurt anyone. But the reality is there are many people who have lost their lives over small untruths, or there are many people that are in prison because of things that were thought to be harmless. And so like the good beliefs, bad beliefs have two sides, at least two sides as well. And so for those who hold these beliefs, both good and bad, um, it tends to kind of restrict the lens in which we look at social reality. Another example of a bad belief is some people are just fundamentally useless. There are some people that believe that. And what makes this bad is that everybody has a story. And what we see in terms of the behavior that they're exhibiting currently, there are causes for that. There are reasons for that. And so we really shouldn't, belittle and classify some people as useless because we don't know their story. So these are just some very basic examples of both good social beliefs, things that we would like to model, and there are bad social beliefs that probably reflect the biases of the holders of such beliefs. There are some problems clearly with social beliefs that we want to look at, and the first one I've kind of alluded to already, and that is they rarely represent absolutes. It's not all this or all that. There are very viable gray areas between extremes, and so it, social beliefs are really more relative than absolute, and they are formed by typically from personal biases. We as we interact with the world through our senses and through both the intake of the conscious and the unconscious mind, we form opinions. And those opinions, if they are nurtured um, to fruition, they form biases. And those biases we then can often project on others in terms of forming social beliefs. As we said, that social beliefs can be inflexible when it's like it's either this or nothing else, then such a mindset is kind of really debilitating for the larger society. What makes social beliefs powerful, for better or for worse, is that they can be transferred to others through repetition. Like-minded people that, for various reasons, agree that this is how society should be evaluated based on some belief. So social beliefs through repetition, that's how we learn, uh, are transferable. And so many people will accept a social belief simply because they received it from someone else. It's not based on their own observations. It's simply based on what they were told or what they've heard. Some long-standing beliefs can mutate in order to survive and thrive in new social settings. You know, you know, the core of long-standing beliefs is pretty much the same because they have that inflexible quality. But in order for that belief to continue, it has to be camouflaged. For example, hate can be camouflaged with a smile. The, the core mindset of a person that has such feelings doesn't really change. But in order to maintain their belief system, they have to demonstrate or put on kind of a new type of clothing. So social beliefs can and do mutate over time in order for them to continue to survive. And I say etc. here because, this is just a brief listing of problems with social beliefs. But in general, when you tie all of this together, social beliefs can blind us to the many viable and valid social outcomes. Again, if we think in terms of absolutes, if we allow our personal biases to influence completely how we view society, if we have this flexible kind of mindset, if we try to look only for people that are like-minded and we transfer our beliefs amongst ourselves, if we um, allow, we have beliefs that mutate over time, those things can serve to make us oblivious to a dynamic society such as the United States. There are so many outcomes that reflect how people do life that may not fit in the social beliefs that we have. So we'll talk about some fuel sources for our social beliefs. What keeps them going? What kind of continues to nourish them? And remember that beliefs are nurtured in the unconscious mind. One fuel source, one very powerful fuel source, is social media sources. In fact, I must acknowledge that I am trying to use social media to try and create competition for entrenched social thinking. So, social media can be a tremendous platform for either enhancing certain social beliefs or dispelling them. So, social media is a very powerful fuel source. Conversations with others, like mentioned that, that social beliefs can be transferred. They are to be transferred through conversations and communication with other like-minded persons. The educational process, you know, we would think that the education process is teaches people how to think, but in many regards, the education process tells people what to think. And the process of telling them what to think, that lays the groundwork for the development of many social beliefs that are sometimes kind of independent or detached from actual social reality. A fuel source that I'm going to focus a lot on in subsequent episodes is data collection and dissemination activities. There's the way we learn is from information, and a lot of information is published and dispersed through our society, and that information then feeds our unconscious. We're bombarded with statistics and data and survey results all the time, and those instruments serve as fuel sources for our social beliefs. And so I want to really look closely at how data collection and dissemination activities can, in fact, fuel our social beliefs for better or for worse. And that will be in subsequent episodes. Random encounters, such as through casual reading, can also fuel our social beliefs. Unlike conversation with others, other human beings, reading, you have the beliefs in writing, and so they can be revisited and reread and restudied and rethought about. And sometimes that information that we read, we may think we're dismissing it, but it's actually seeping into the unconscious where it can mysteriously be shaped into beliefs that we may exhibit and not be aware of. Again, this is just a brief list of fuel sources, but this list gives us enough for purposes of this channel to make the case for trying to promote human unity. And so if you have liked the discussion in this episode, please give me a thumbs up. If you feel compelled to add to this discussion, that would be great. You can comment in that regard. But please share the channel's contents with others, because there are some episodes that are coming that will, I think, really require us to brainstorm in terms of how can we change the trajectory of our country. So please share this channel with others. And remember, we are humanity. A united tomorrow must start today. So until episode 4, take care.